Voice of Indonesia.
Special time, listeners, because you know that as in this case, listeners, we have in this case like there are two university students of Australia who are joining an internship program, namely ACICIS at the Voice of Indonesia RI. And to know more about this, here at the studio of VOI, there is Luca Pearce, listeners, who will tell us about the program and share about her experience in Indonesia. Hello, Luna.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, how are you today, Luna?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm fine too. Well, actually, I would like to say congratulations and welcome to Voice of Indonesia RI in Jakarta.
Thank you so much.
Well, so far as I know, you are as one of the Australian university students who is joining the internship program, namely ACICIS.
Yep, so there's three of us from Australia, and we're all students, and we are currently interning at the Voice of Indonesia. I'm from Sydney, Zach is from Melbourne, and Gera, the other one, is from Perth.
Okay, well, actually, what is ACICIS, Luna?
So ACICIS is basically a program organised by the kind of Australian government, this university in Perth, and it really just wants to improve relations between young people within Indonesia and Australia. So they send 92 students every year over to Indonesia, and we basically learn like Bahasa Indonesian, and we intern at different workplaces around Jakarta and just around Indonesia. Yeah.
So for this year, Australian government has sent more than 30 university students.
92.
92, okay. At least this full join for more than 1 month in Jakarta.
Yeah, so we're all living here. I think a couple people have been placed in Bali though.
Oh.
But most people in Jakarta.
Cool. Well, actually, before you come to Voice of Indonesia, actually, were you or maybe did you also learn like Indonesian language before you arrive here?
So before I came to Indonesia, I knew no Indonesian. I didn't even know like terima kasih. I knew nothing. But we had 2 weeks of intensive Bahasa Indonesian classes at Atmajaya University.
I see.
So during that time, we were able to really learn our the language and get a lot better.
So only get such 2 weeks of learning.
Yeah, and we had to do a test at the end of the 2 weeks. So it was like a very intense 2 weeks. But I'm really glad I can, because I did the 2 weeks of language classes, because now I can like order nasi goreng and like order all my Indonesian food, which has been wonderful.
So you have already tasted such Indonesian traditional food like rice, nasi goreng,
bakmi.
Bakmi golek?
Yeah, I think it's called like bakmi goreng, and like gado-gado.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's delicious.
How do you taste it?
It's so good.
Really?
Yeah.
Spicy or not?
Yeah, it's really spicy, but it's okay. I need to get better at spice.
Well, not all people really like spicy taste, right? Well, what about you, actually?
Well, I'm not very good at eating spicy food. My mum is Chinese and always tells me off for not being able to eat spicy food.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get better.
So you are used to tasting spicy taste.
Yeah, definitely. There's more spicy food in Chinese food rather than like Australian food. Yeah.
So Luna, I would like to ask more about the program. Actually, does the Australian government choose only special one for special purpose, or what? I mean every year of this ACICIS program, actually.
So I don't think it's the Australian government. I think they kind of help with ACICIS to organise it. And we kind of send in an application, send in like a little bit about ourselves, why we want to come to Indonesia, like why we want to do this program, and then they choose us from there. But the Australian government actually gives out like a grant. So it's called the New Colombo Grant, and they give out some money to Australian students to come over and study in Indonesia. So that was really helpful to be able to come over here. Yeah.
So I mean, before you come to Voice of Indonesia, did you also have such opportunity to choose one of media, or maybe the program only send you to the media?
To this specific one?
Yes.
So we just like elected which type of journalism we want to go into, and I said like video and radio. So I was really glad to be put in Voice of Indonesia, because I definitely like radio and video a lot more than like print journalism. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, before you said about this program also related to university students who are taking related to journalism program. Is that correct?
So Achichis has a whole different bunch of programs. I'm in the journalism program, but they also have like law, agriculture, business, developmental studies. They have like a creative studies part. So they split us into like our faculty. But I was in the journalism one, and it was really great because they brought in a lot of like journalists here in Indonesia to come like talk to us about like journalism here.
So you have been here especially in the Voice of Indonesia more than 3 days or?
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days.
Not very long, but still learning the ropes.
So far, how do you feel about here when the staff and also the workers here at Voice of Indonesia also welcome you?
Yeah, everyone's been really lovely here. As soon as we came in, they were very welcoming. It's been a bit overwhelming just to hear Bahasa Indonesian for so long, but it definitely can. Being able to like pick up words every now and then, I'm like, I know that word. It's been helpful to like improve my language and stuff. Yeah.
Have you already? By the way, have you already tried to speak Indonesian language to some workers here?
A
little bit.
Just a little bit, but I'm not very good. But it's okay.
Can you sing a song of Indonesian language?
Sing a song of Indonesian language?
Can you?
No.
At least.
I don't know any.
Okay. Well, Luna, actually. Before you learned, like Indonesian language, this is really important, right? Because this is also as purpose of Achichis program, so that the students are expected to know more directly about Indonesia, especially, and like joining or participating like the program like here in Voice of Indonesia. Actually, do you also learn like maybe editing like news or trying to reporting like?
We did have like a session at Majaya University where they taught us a bit of like mobile journalism. So we learned a little bit how to edit and record video and audio, but I'd also done that a lot in my university back in Australia. So we were taught how to use like Adobe Premiere Pro and like Audition and all of those stuff, which will be really helpful when we're interning here.
So beside having like your internship program at Voice of Indonesia, actually, do of your friends also have such the program at another media?
Yeah, so I have some friends at Jakarta Post, Jakarta Globe, Metro TV.
Okay.
I think someone's at Amnesty International, and then In Clover magazine. Yeah, I think that's all the journalism placements. But the Metro TV one is really cool.
Okay. So at least after having such internship here at the Voice of Indonesia, so you should have make such maybe like evaluation or something like draft or making like evaluation, or what kind of what will you do after finishing the program?
Yeah, so when I get home, I really want to go into like a small role with maybe video journalism. So I'm hoping this can help me a lot, so I can learn a lot from like the producers and the editors. So then I can kind of improve, like finesse my editing skills, and hopefully it'll help me get a job back in Australia. I'm praying.
Okay. Well, during your time like at Voice of Indonesia, actually, what kind of maybe traditional beverage have you already tasted?
What have I had here? I've had like coffee. I've had. I'm not sure what else actually.
What's that? Coffee? Iced tea, maybe?
Just a lot of tea. Just a lot of iced tea. Yeah, it's been really good.
So what about talking about the challenge of media? How do you see about this actually for the current situation in the world?
I think there's been a massive move towards social media as a form of like getting news out, and I think it definitely has its pros and cons because everything moves so fast. But I think in this day and age, it's been really helpful for young people, like especially as I want to be a journalist and I'm still like kind of learning the ropes, to learn a lot about that. So I think that is like the most important part to learn in this day and age. I don't know. Yeah.
So besides having such, learning of, I can say media, mainstream, I think mainstream media, when you said about social media, this is also important to combine and to know, I can say the progress or development of social media. How do you see about this? I can say the competitiveness.
Yeah, I think it does make it really complicated as like in terms of access, because maybe like a lot of older people don't have access to social media, like they can't actually access the news. But yeah, I think it's a good change. I think news media has been very stagnant for a while, so I think it is cool that it's like changing, and we have to really stay up to date with everything as like budding journalists.
So you mean like, like knowing about the development of social media is also a must, right?
Yeah, even like using TikTok as a form of like getting the news out there. It's like whatever like people are consuming these days, we have to adapt and we have to change our ways. We can't just stay stuck in the past of just print media, for example.
Well, Luna, I would like to know maybe a little bit about the freedom of media in Australia actually. Does the government also give such freedom for the media to write down or to make such information?
We do have a lot. I think our laws are a little bit more freer in Australia than here, in terms of maybe like criticizing like figures and stuff. But I think we also have a lot of like satirical organizations in Australia. I don't know if you know like the Chaser or like the True to Advocate. I'm not sure if they really have that here. But we do still have strict laws, like you have to fact check, you have to like follow the right ethical guidelines. But I think the laws are definitely different here compared to home. Yeah.
Come back home. Well, when you are still learning about, can say like journalism, at your university, I mean, what can be applied by the basic of your study here in the Voice of Indonesia?
I think intercultural communication is something that can be applied, and I think that's something I'm really interested to learn about here, because I think that's a very important part of journalism. You need to talk to everyone from all walks of life. So I think it's really cool to have this experience to also communicate with, like some people here don't speak English, and it's good to learn how to communicate with everyone. Like even if my Bahasa Indonesian is not very good, I will still try to talk to them. And I think that's like a very important part of journalism, and I think that's what I really want to take away from this internship. Okay,
well, during your time here for 4 weeks, right? 1 month. Actually, what do you expect from Voice of Indonesia?
I expect lots of good food, but I really hope to learn a lot more about editing and producing audio, like radio stories, as well as the video stories. I think I was talking with some of the other workers who are doing a lot on social media, and I would love to learn more about that. And just kind of how a radio station runs, especially because this is a very like well-regarded radio station in Indonesia. I'd love to learn more about how everything works.
Okay, the last question, Luna. The last question. Actually, after you get such internship program here at the Voice of Indonesia, I mean, so what will you share maybe to your friends at your university student?
I think I would definitely encourage all the uni students back home to do an internship like this. Like, not just specifically Indonesia, but anywhere across the world. I think it's really important to learn about how journalism works in different countries, not just Australia, because it can feel very like insular. You just learn about one country, but international news is just as important. And I think I would also take back that Indonesian people are very friendly, and I would recommend coming here for an internship.
Okay, thank you very much, Luca Pearce, for your time at the studio of Voice of Indonesia today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, listener, that's our special interview with Luca Pearce as one of university students of Australia who is joining an internship program, namely ACCIS. Listener, with me Faisal, and don't go anywhere, because after this song, we'll be right back to accompany you again.
Voice of Indonesia. OR